The city of Kryn, 5 had seen better days. Once a thriving hub of interstellar commerce, it was now a fractured planet of neon ruins, black market alleys, and shadowed towers. Smoke rose from smoldering districts where factions fought for control, and the distant hum of orbital cannons reminded everyone that the Empire's rule was absolute. That's where I found her. Her name was Celera. Or at least that's what I learned when she finally spoke. She was young, not yet 20, with piercing amber eyes that held both defiance and weariness. She wasn't a soldier, not officially. She was a courier for one of the few rebel networks left on Kryn 5. And by all accounts, she shouldn't have survived the night. She had been marked by the Empire's enforcers, a bounty placed not for who she was, but for what she had witnessed. Secret plans of the Imperial fleet, intelligence that could tip the balance in the ongoing rebellion. I wasn't supposed to find her either. I was a human pilot who'd crash-landed on Kryn 5 after my transport ship was caught in an orbital skirmish. My mission was simple: repair my ship, get off the planet, and avoid the war zone. But when I heard the shrill alarm of plasma rifles opening fire in a narrow alleyway and saw a small figure being chased by armored enforcers, I knew my night and my fate had just changed. I ducked behind a rusted hovercar and activated my pulse pistol. "Hey!" I shouted, hoping to draw attention. "Over here." Celera turned sharply. Her breath came fast. Her amber eyes widened, as if she didn't expect anyone to help. "They'll kill you," I yelled. I can handle it," she cried back. I didn't wait to negotiate. I fired a warning shot. Sparks flew across the walls as plasma bolts struck the metal scaffolding around us. Celera hesitated, then leaped toward me. "We need to move now." I grabbed her arm. We sprinted through the alleyways, neon lights flickering as we dodged patrols. Her movements were swift, almost unnatural in their precision. Clearly, she had survived worse than this before. But tonight, she wasn't alone anymore. For the first time in years, someone else was taking the risk for her. Surviving the impossible. We ducked into an abandoned sector of the city, a crumbling district the Empire had declared off-limits. Inside a dilapidated warehouse, Celera finally caught her breath. "You shouldn't have followed me," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I didn't follow you," I said, though I knew it sounded lame. "I just didn't let them kill you." She looked at me, assessing. There was suspicion, yes, but also relief. I could see it in the way her shoulders relaxed, just a fraction. "They're not stopping tonight," she said quietly. "The enforcers, they have orders to erase any witnesses. If you're seen with me, I'll deal with it," I said. Her eyes searched mine. She had lived through betrayals, losses, and near-death experiences, and yet, here she was, trusting a stranger, if only slightly. The first skirmish came minutes later. Imperial patrols traced our escape route, their sensors sweeping the abandoned streets. We could hear the low hum of energy shields and the occasional pulse of their rifles. "Stay behind me," I said. "No," she said firmly. "I can fight." "I know," I replied. "But tonight, you survive with me." We fought side by side. Celera's agility was unmatched. She disarmed, incapacitated, and outran soldiers with grace. I covered her back, drawing fire and creating openings. Together, we moved through the chaos, turning every disadvantage into a tactical opportunity. At one point, a patrol ambushed us from above. Celera launched herself into the air with the help of an anti-grav harness, flipping over our attackers and landing in a crouch. I fired at the enforcer's shields, timing my shots to coincide with her strikes. By the time we reached the city's underground transit tunnels, the night was halfway gone, and the number of pursuers had doubled. Solara's breathing was heavy. "You saved me," she said, almost as a whisper. "No," I said. "We saved each other." She didn't answer, but her amber eyes softened. That brief moment of vulnerability told me something profound. She had begun to understand that sometimes survival required trust. The trap. We weren't safe yet. The Empire had anticipated our escape. A massive dropship blocked the tunnel's exit, its bulk and weaponry far beyond what I'd ever faced. "They're expecting us," I muttered. "They always do," Solara said. I scanned the dropship. 2 armed doors, heavy turrets, and a small number of soldiers on the ramp. Impossible odds. "Listen," I said. "I have an idea. You need to trust me completely." She stared at me, tension in her jaw. I don't know if I can." "You have to," I said. "This is the only way you survive." I rigged a series of plasma charges along the walls of the tunnel while she covered me, taking down soldiers who tried to approach. Seconds felt like hours. Then I triggered the charges. Explosions tore through the tunnel, sending the drop ship lurching backward. Solara and I sprinted into the chaos, dodging falling debris and disoriented soldiers. Once outside, we made a final stand atop a ruined plaza. She moved like a living shadow, her weapons dancing with precision. I stood beside her, taking fire and providing cover. It was brutal, exhausting. But as the first rays of Crin 5's twin suns pierced the smoke, the last of the enforcers retreated. The choice. We collapsed behind a broken fountain, breathing heavily, bloodied, exhausted. "You shouldn't have come," Solara said softly. "I couldn't let them win," I replied. "They marked me for death," she said. "No one survives that alone." "Not anymore," I said. Her gaze met mine. There was something in her eyes I hadn't seen before. Not just relief, but recognition. Trust. Connection. Something deeper than mere survival. I don't know how to," she began, then faltered. "You don't have to explain," I said. "You just have to survive." She nodded. That was enough. The Empire's retaliation. We thought we had bought ourselves a reprieve. We were wrong. A massive warship appeared in orbit, cutting off any hope of escape. The Empire wasn't finished with us. They sent elite hunters, soldiers equipped with the latest tech design specifically to eliminate high-value targets like Solara. "We can't outrun them," I said. "No," Solara said, "but we can make them pay." Together, we devised a plan. Using the city's ruins as camouflage, we rigged explosive traps and used guerrilla tactics. Solara drew the soldiers into narrow corridors where I used the terrain and improvised weapons to create ambushes. Every move was synchronized, every attack calculated. By the time the Empire realized what we had done, half their strike team was destroyed and their warship forced to retreat due to orbital damage. Solara turned to me, breathing heavily, and for the first time, I saw a faint smile. "You changed everything," she said. "No," I said. "You survived because you let me fight with you." Her eyes softened. Maybe strength isn't just about surviving alone. Surviving together. The night had ended. Crin 5's ruins glimmered in the pale sunlight. Smoke still rose from scattered fires, but the immediate threat was gone. Solara wasn't marked for death anymore, not while I was standing by her side. She surveyed the city, then looked at me. "You risked everything," she said. "And I'd do it again," I replied. She nodded, a mixture of respect and something warmer in her gaze. Trust had been forged in the crucible of violence and survival. "I always thought I had to face the galaxy alone," she admitted. "You don't," I said. She smiled, the first real smile I had seen in weeks. For the first time since her life had been marked for termination by the Empire, Celera didn't look like someone waiting for death. She looked like someone ready to fight, with me beside her. Together, we walked through the ruins. The galaxy remained dangerous, the Empire still a looming threat, but we had survived the night. And more importantly, she had learned that survival wasn't about facing danger alone. It was about standing with someone willing to risk everything for you. The sun rose higher, casting a golden glow over Kryn. 5. The City of Shadows was no longer just a battlefield. It had become a place of hope, of alliance, and of new beginnings. And as Celera glanced at me, I realized something profound. The night wasn't just survived. It was changed forever. Because now, the alien girl who shouldn't have survived the night had someone who would always stand as her shield. And I would never let her face the universe alone again.